Hi everyone, I'm Marco from AQ Strong here in Hong Kong. We're an athletic development company, and today we're going to be getting into the investment climate around Asia with sports technology. Sports technology in the last year is really taking off. There's been a lot of investment across Asia and globally in how technology is changing the health, fitness, wellness, and sports spaces. Today we have the pleasure of meeting with Loron and JB from Asia Sports Tech. They're a leading company here in Hong Kong that is working with mergers and acquisitions, working with investors to really develop the sports technology space across Asia. So I'll hand it over to Loron and to JB to introduce themselves and a little bit about Asia Sports Tech and what they do.
Hi everyone, we're happy to be here today, and I'm joined by my founding partner, Jean-Baptiste and myself, Loron Orris. And our vision for Asia Sports Tech is to accelerate the transformation of the sports and well-being ecosystems in Asia. We do this through our large team of advisors and subject matter experts that are located in offices throughout Greater China and Southeast Asia. Our focus is really to provide to our broad list of international clients services around go-to-market and growth strategies, as well as innovation strategies, and we also provide capital advisory to a growing list of clients.
Well, it's a very impressive resume of work that Asia Sports Tech is getting into. In the last year or two, we've seen a lot of activity of investment in sports tech and in the global growth of sports tech, especially coming here to Asia. And I know you guys are a key player in that. So what's the investment climate been like in Asia in particular in sports technology?
Marco, thanks a lot for this question, for hosting us today. The investment climate globally around sports, health, fitness, well-being has been booming over the last, let's say, 3-4 years. We have seen an acceleration of this investment over the last 18-24 months with more and more consumers focusing their wallet towards spending into health and sports and fitness. So we have seen the same acceleration in Asia, even more acceleration thanks to a strong and even stronger government support that will come into it later. We have seen, and at the same time, in this part of the world, with China and India leading transformation and bringing change to new consumer, we are seeing definitely a faster CAGR versus other countries as these territories are catching up. We know that this region is starting from maybe lower base and people want to start consuming. So in terms of CAGR, let's say for this kind of health, fitness, well-being ecosystem, let's say in Europe and North America, from 2018 to 2023, we'll have, let's say, 5 to 6% CAGR. Here we more look at a 9 to 10% CAGR. So we can see why more and more investors, also from this part of the world, are more and more interested in looking at these sectors, not only from a hobby perspective, but really from an investment perspective.
Really interesting, the investment climate in Asia. Loron, what are the key market drivers that are driving all that investment?
So one of the key things in Asia, of course, is the huge populations that are here. And if you think about it, very urban and as well very digitally connected, with 5G, of course, being put throughout all the different systems here. But what's really changing the ecosystem is government. Government is playing a huge role in all of these markets. They're pushing health and well-being. They're pushing more, creating sports and esports and fitness and well-being as larger industries. And so they're putting a lot of emphasis on that. Then you add in COVID and the huge transformation that's resulted from that. And really what it's done is it's caused an acceleration of digital transformation in all of the different industries. And this is what's driving a huge amount of the transformation in the region. And then, of course, you've got, starting from an early base in a number of these industries where people want to consume more. They're getting not only involved in sports and more active, but as well involved in the business of sports and building that out.
And which government do you think is the most friendly towards this development? Which is leading the charge?
I think in that space, that the one where people look at is China, where it's very much, they set out everything from what they want to do. You think about the initiatives around the Beijing Olympics and getting 300 million people active in winter sports. You look at what's happening around young and youth and getting them more active and making sure that it's part of all different elements of the business culture as well.
The market for sports, health, fitness, wellness is vibrant in Asia, as we've learned. What's attracting venture capital and private equity firms in particular to invest in sports technology?
And there are several factors that is definitely attracting venture capitalists and private equity firms to focus more and more in that sector. So the first one is, as we learned from Loron, macroeconomic trends are getting stronger and stronger, especially with government backing, government support. China National Fitness Plan, and as we know, when China starts, the rest of Asia is competing. So every other government around the region has tried to say, we need a health plan, we need a sports plan, we need a health plan. So there is a lot of support in building infrastructure, changing education model, looking at youth. So we know that the ecosystem is supporting the growth of sports, health, and fitness. So this is a very important first factor. The second factor, I would say, is we have seen globally the effect and these billion-dollar sports and sports tech companies coming into the public market, raising capital, from the Peloton to the Whoops and across the entire ecosystem, which have given confidence about investors that there is actually great return to make in that space. And I would say the third point is also investors have seen the evolution over the last, let's say, 24 months of the Asian consumer behavior. So as we is focusing on more and more investors in this part of the world are focusing on Asian consumer trends, whatever it is, sports, health, and fitness is becoming a growing part of the Asian consumer basket. And thanks to that, they believe that we need to fuel future companies and future, I would say, successful unicorns in this part of the world that will be adapted to Asian consumers. If there is a last point I could add, is we have seen that in sports and health tech, the predominance and the increasing value of data. And we know that the future techs around sports and health will help us to create the future database of what are the Asian athletes, what are the Asian consumer behavior, and we know that there will be opportunities around that are not being cracked yet, and I think a lot of investors are looking at that part.